What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 90 of Lobbing Scorchers. We are recording on a sunny Sunday afternoon here in Seattle. And Noah, we're about to lay down a draw pod. How are you feeling?
You know what, Ari? It's a beautiful day outside. I'm ready to talk some soccer. I'm ready to talk some Sounders. And I'm even more ready to shill.
Yeah, we got some good shilling on this show, but we also do have a draw pod as the Seattle Sounders went down to PayPal Park to play the San Jose Earthquakes, and they came back with a point after a 1-1 result on a second-half equalizer from Albert Rusnak. We're going to break that down in our game review. We're going to hit our agenda check. We're going to react to some of the other results from around MLS in Matchday 6. We're going to check the pulse of the streets. It's a jam-packed show. I don't even know if I got everything there, but it's going to be a good show. And we have a goal to talk about. So that's nice. The previous two games, we didn't have that. Yeah. So it's basically a dub pod for that.
You said multiple goals, and you would be happy.
I said one goal.
Yeah, okay.
Hope maybe two goals.
Right, that's sort of, yeah.
They did get one goal. But before we get into all that, I do have to let you all know, as always, Lobbing Scorchers is a part of the Sounder at Heart podcast network. If you want to get the best independent Seattle soccer coverage, consider supporting us by going to sounderatheart.com/ls. Noah, what's that link?
Sounderatheart.com/ls.
Scroll down to subscribe and support to get 30 days completely free. Every sign up through our link helps support and grow this show. The road to 100 Sounder at Heart subs is still fully operational, and now more than ever, it is a great time to become a member with the season in full swing. Subscribers also now get access to the audio-only versions of our live shows, which are a lot of fun. If you haven't been tuning into those, Lobbing Scorchers kickoff every Monday at 8 a.m. Lobbing Scorchers Under the Lights every Thursday at 7:30 p.m.
And live reaction post-match shows when we have the time. I have been putting the audio up as well.
We did a post-match live last night. That was a lot of fun. We've been taking calls on those. So if you ever want to jump on the feed with us and lay down your own takes, anyone is welcome to, as long as you're not crashing out fully. You can crash out a little bit.
You can crash out respectfully.
Respectfully crash out, and anyone's free and welcome to come lay down takes with us. Shout out to our sponsors, Hacks and Ferments, Podium Menswear, and Full Pull Wines.
As well as our new sponsor, My Data Removal. My Data Removal, you'll hear about it, obviously, in the thing, but...
New sponsor. That's good. That's one good. We're good. Got another announcement coming at you guys later, and also we're going to start doing members only content. That's the other thing to show. We've got 20 YouTube members, but we're going to try and incentivize growing that number. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay down bonus content that's going to be available exclusively to our YouTube members. And I don't know if we fully fleshed out if we're going to unlock it or if it's just always going to be YouTube members only. We'll figure all that out, but that is something we are going to start doing. So if you want some bonus content from us, become a YouTube member. It is a phenomenal way to support the show. Noah, did we have any new Sounder
No
Heart?
new Sounder Heart subs, but we're getting there. We're still at 85, so please, sounderatheart.com/ls. They literally broke news on there the other day.
Yeah.
The Ryan Kent news was broke by the one and only Nico Moreno.
Who was streaming with me at the time.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you want to support more of those kind of stories, all of that, sounderatheart.com/ls feeds us, feeds everyone else in the Sounders journalism community. So we move.
I think that's enough shilling. Sub to the channel, like the video, all that. All right.
People have to listen to the shilling beforehand. They're probably skipping, but you know what?
It's fine. All right, let's get into this draw pod, Noah. I think for a 1-1 draw, there's a lot to talk about with this game, given how it played out compared to the last couple weeks. Seattle Sounders 1, San Jose Earthquakes 1. Let's hit our lineup reaction to start. You had Ferreira at the 9 again. It was round 2 of that experiment with Jordan Morris out injured, and it was Christian at right mid again with Albert listed on the left. I don't think he's exactly playing like a pure winger in that setup, but that's how they listed that band of 3. Obed and JP double pivot, and your standard back line. My first reaction when I saw this lineup was, it's basically what we're all tracking right now is Ferreira at the 9, how that's looking. So I guess on one hand, I was okay with them running that again, but I don't know, just from looking at a graphic where you got Christian at right mid and Albert on the left, I guess skeptical is the word that I would use. Noah, what was your first thought when you saw the lineup released?
Well, it's classic Brian Schmetzer to just troll and put a random formation for the Sounders graphic. I'm not actually sure how they determine what the graphic is going to look like, if Brian actually draws something out or they just kind of like vibe it. But a 3-4-3 with Ferreira at the 9, I was like, okay, like maybe this makes more sense. He can drop back more. He can get some overlaps with Obed. Obed's going to get to go forward. You got Paul Rothrock who will be able to come in. You've got Christian Roldan who can drop back to swap with Obed and play. And then, of course, it didn't play like that at all because it really wasn't a 3-4-3. But lineup-wise specifically, I don't know. I was like, all right. I think I tweeted something like, Rusnak and Roldan flanking Jesus Ferreira at the 9 that's something. It's something, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if they're admittedly in a bit of a bind with the personnel, and I don't mind the experimentation, but it just I don't know. Like I feel like with how the first 2 games of Ferreira at the 9 went, I didn't see that and think, all right, this is where they bam 3 to 5 goals on the Quakes, but I'll be open-minded and give it a chance. So let's get into the key moments from this game. The first thing I wanted to talk about was just how it started, because I don't know about you, but I felt like in terms of things like game state and tempo and even chance generation, I thought the first 15 to 20 minutes were playing pretty well. Yeah. I thought they were really good, really sharp in possession. I thought they were good at it felt like possession with purpose, in the sense that they weren't just knocking the ball around. They were knocking the ball around effectively, but also getting out and running a little bit. And they had I feel like they had the better of the run of play in that first 15 to 20 minutes, which if you're the road team, that's always a positive, I think, to start a game like that. So I was actually pretty pleased with how it was going in that respect. But what I will say is, with that said, specifically Ferreira at the 9, I didn't think looked that different from how it looked the previous 2 weeks. I thought the team as a whole looked a lot better and a lot sharper in possession. And the offense looked better in that opening 15 to 20 minutes, with the caveat that the number 9 position, so it just still felt like a little disjointed and that the chemistry wasn't all there yet. Did you see that any differently?
No, I agree with you completely. Like, I think that the Ferreira at the 9 experiment is just that still. Like, I think that it's not done yet. Like, I think that you signed this player to play this position. It would be not only like silly to count him out after 3 or 4 matches, but it would not be doing right by the player who, like, I don't know if that's where Ferreira wants to play. If he wants to play there, then you should trust that he's going to settle in there and do what he needs to do to feel comfortable. And I thought speaking about the lineup, I thought putting guys around him where he could put in service to probably will work better, when like Pedro's back and Morris is back. Like, I could see him and Morris playing a dual striker where Ferreira can also get on the outside and play like a winger most of the time, because, and we'll talk about that second half of his play. But the first half, it wasn't like great, but I wasn't sitting there like, oh my God, we're cooked.
Yeah,
and the first 20 minutes was good. It was fine soccer. It was good soccer.
It was good soccer, and yeah, they didn't get a goal, so that's only worth so much. Yeah. But I did
make your own luck.
I did like what I was seeing up until the San Jose Earthquakes got the first goal of this game in the 32nd minute. Bo LaRue, or he's some rookie from San Jose State. I don't know. This goal was unfortunate to say the least. Is not good. You never want to give the ball away, but especially like right there. Yeah. That's not a good place. there's never a good place to give away the ball, but that was an especially not good place to give away the ball. Alex Roldan kicks it. Basically, he never saw the guy. I think he thought that he
was kind of like in the corner of his eye.
Yeah, I think he didn't see him in his peripheral and thought
JP was flat-footed. Too.
He thought that he had an easy pass to JP, but the guy turned out to be right there to pick it off. And then, like you said, credit to that kid for making his own luck. He takes the shot from outside the box. Jackson Reagan's trying to block it. It deflects off him, and just like
bad goalkeeping by Fry too. Like really bad goalkeeping by Fry.
You think that was bad goalkeeping?
Oh yeah, I think so.
I mean, that floated like do you think he should have not been that far off his line?
Yeah, I mean, if you see a ball get picked off like that, he was kind of caught in no man's land, I thought. But maybe I saw it wrong. I mean, I'm happy to be persuaded. Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't even think about the goalkeeping on that play. I thought it was a pretty unlucky deflection. For me, more than the Jackson Reagan deflecting it or where Fry was positioned, that goal was about the giveaway.
Yeah, for sure.
Which and people were getting on Alex Roldan for that because he had the giveaway that led to the Galaxy goal in the playoffs last year, and I think there's a narrative out there that he's been either declining or just not playing that well really like the last year or two. For me, in these situations, if you give up one goal in a given game, especially on the road, you are going to give up goals sometimes. It would be sick to give up 0 goals and get a clean sheet every game over 34 games, but you're going to get punched in the mouth sometimes, and you have to be able to score yourself. Like, how many times did we have this discussion last year about the margin for error for the defense is practically nothing because the team's not scoring. So you can play well on defense and have one moment where you give up a bad goal, and really, if you don't get a result in those games, to me, it's a lot more down to the offense than it. I thought the defense was good in this game. Like that was a bad giveaway, bad moment, bad goal to concede. Definitely a little unlucky. But if you want to get a result in these games, you have to score yourself too, regardless of what happens on defense. And I thought the defense was pretty good.
Yeah, and I agree completely with the fact that in your first half, Jesus Ferreira gets 0 shots. Like, I was seeing that, and I was not super upset about the Roldan giveaway because earlier he had literally had a header that was on target and saved off of a Rothrock ball, which, holy shit, Rothrock was good in this match. We'll talk about that. But your defense was solid. Yamar, fine. Jackson, okay, like he does what he can. It's a last-ditch effort save. But I'm sorry, man. Like, it's just a kid who's been hot lately. He's been getting a run, and he decides to rip a ball off of a good takeaway, and like you score. That's soccer, man.
That's
like,
good. Yeah,
sometimes
stuff like that is going to happen in throughout a season. So you have to. It's about how you respond to it.
It's how you work back from that. Yeah,
when you get punched in the mouth, how do you respond? And I think, honestly, that was the first thought that went through my head when I saw that ball go in. I wasn't like, okay, good, but I was like, all right, let's see what you got. Like, punched in the mouth, go score one. Go score one on the road.
Hadn't scored on the road.
I haven't scored in 2 games. Like, go get one back. Like, it's not that complicated at the end of the day. But it was 0-0 going into the half. There was the Rothrock to Alex Roldan. I thought that was a really good chance. I really liked what Rothrock did on that play, how he kind of let the ball keep going.
Yeah.
And then that was actually that's a classic Rusnak move that did to free himself the space to get that cross off. And I mean, I was going to talk about it for Lobbing Scorchers man of the match, but
we'll save it. We'll save it.
Okay. Well, I'll save it.
Yeah.
But that was one of what I thought were a few good sequences and good chances in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say too, like, it really showed that Paul Rothrock was trying to make something of nothing, right? But he had some kind of feel for his position. I think this just goes to say about like Ferreira specifically. He was not comfortable in that position still. Like, in that first half, he looked lost. He would be way too far down the field on the break, on the counter, which was something that happened last week and the week before that. It was like bad. It was bad. I think that we can both agree that Jesus Ferreira had a really bad first half.
I don't, like what was going through my head wasn't like that was really bad or a disaster. It was just not different than what we had seen, which was not
like a player
great.
Out of position.
Yeah, like it still looked like disjointed and like the chemistry wasn't there yet, which I've been saying like that's not the craziest thing in the world to me, but like you do want to see incremental improvements, and I would agree that I didn't really see that in the first half. And that was, as much as I liked some of the stuff that we saw in the first half, that was sort of the thing where it's like, all right, but you know, you didn't get that part of it going, which is really the most important thing right now. So I think that's a good segue into the halftime adjustments that Brian Schmetzer made. He didn't wait till 55 or 60 to make these changes, and he talked about that after the game. And I guess that's the first thing I want to give Schmetz credit, because we have both, I think, critiqued him at times for waiting too long to make those changes, particularly in like games where it's really not going well. And you see the first half is just kind of a disaster, like the Cruz Azul game. Like the first half was a pretty big disaster, and the changes I think we both felt could have come sooner. So credit to Schmetz in this case for being like, all right, I'm just going to do it at half. That's actually exactly what I've said that I would have liked to see him do in a couple of those situations is, just do it at half. Just there's no reason to let this go to 60 or 65 when it looked a certain way for the first 45. So what he did was he brought Moose on and started him at a center forward, and then moved Ferreira out to the right. And I thought that just immediately looked way better.
Oh yeah,
way better. Like Ferreira, it still wasn't amazing, but it was he was
able
better.
to play so much freer, and he felt he looked comfortable. For me, and you said this, you completely have shaped my world, Ari, in more than one way. But with this Ferreira thing, he's got this ability to pick out these passes that look impossible. He's got such good field vision. Like
the one to Alex was so sick.
Yeah, but like, he's got that thing where he's got eyes in the back of his head. He's 360'd. He's 360'd up. Like he is so much more effective when he has some space to play people in, or he can facilitate. His game is just not that lethal striker anymore, it seems like. And I saw that with this, where like he did take 2 shots. He was able to work in on attack and like be an option in attack more when he was out on the wing than when he was playing the 9.
You could really see that he is a very talented facilitator. Some of the dimes that he hit, I thought were great. The one I was talking about, the diagonal one that put Alex Roldan in, that was a great pass. We're going to talk about the role that he played on the goal that Seattle scored. But I think the most important takeaway from this game, which we're going to talk about in Agenda Check, is just like how much better it looked in the second half with that tactical tweak. And I think, to me, it's worth riding that moving forward, as opposed to continuing to play him like centrally like that as like the pure 9.
Yeah,
I just thought this second half, it felt like, okay, this is how they need to be playing.
100%. It unlocked so much more of that field centrally, and I even thought you saw players like Rothrock able to cut inside centrally more and feel comfortable doing that, because effectively they were like, yeah, I'm just not going to pass to Danny Musovski. He's just kind of there. And I liked that. I liked that, Paul cut inside and Alex cut inside, and you had Obed making runs forward too. And I don't know, it looked so much more effective, and credit to Brian for understanding and feeling like, hey, this isn't working. We're going to give it a run. We're going to let you get more comfortable, give you minutes there, but we also need to win the game.
Yeah.
And it's not about tanking so that one player can figure it out. And he made that adjustment very quickly. And I mean, props to the whole coaching staff, but
that was good coaching.
It was great. It was good coaching. Yeah. Not to glaze, actually to glaze.
Two glaze.
I'm happy to glaze.
We liked that move, and it worked.
Yeah.
Other key moments in the second half, who actually had a couple pretty good shots.
Back to back.
Every time he shoots, I think most people are like, oh, God. But he forced the goalkeeper into a good diving save on that first one, so I didn't mind him lining that up. And he tried to volley one right after that, right? And that was also like a pretty good looking shot. Not even
solid.
for Nuhu, for anybody.
Yeah.
And then I think he had one more that he missed by a larger margin than
he had
those
4
first
shots.
2. But like, I didn't mind any of those shots. And I thought in general, he looked pretty good. Like that was more of like a 2-way Nuhu game than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, it was interesting the way that he was playing. I mean, he's like, this is my take. This is my agenda that's always seems to come true, but he always plays so juiced coming back from national team
Cameroon,
duty.
yeah.
Like, I think he's just able to play so much more freely on that team. And I think that it translates back into the game here. Like, he just was a man possessed, and I love it. I love that he's able to come back, and it's also sick that he clearly loves representing Cameroon, and
he's a key player for them.
Yeah, he is. Like, he's big, and that they're a good team. But yeah, dude had 2 shots on goal. You know how many Jesus Ferreira had? 0. He had double the shots of Jesus Ferreira in 2
and
times.
like the Nuhu shots were pretty like low percentage, to be fair, but he hit him nice.
You make your own luck.
I don't mind him doing that if he's actually going to put it on target. I don't mind that as much. A lot of people were like really annoyed, I guess, at how many shots from distance Seattle took in this game, because Nuhu had a couple, Georgie had one, Rusnak had one, so I guess maybe a little more shots from distance than you would like, but I didn't think any of them were horrible decision making. Georgie's substitute appearance
Incredible.
in the second half was very, very good. It's just he's a lot to handle. Like, especially when he's got guys 1-on-1, it's very rare that they are able to keep him in front of them. Like, it's almost I'm not doing a player comp here, by the way, but like when you watch Denny Bwanga play and he's got someone on an island and you're like, that's already chalked. Like, you already know that he's going to just blow by the guy. Georgie's got like a little bit of that quality in his game where when he's taking these guys on 1-on-1, it's like almost over before it starts, man. And like his final product is obviously a work in progress and nowhere near a player yet of Denny Bwanga's stature and quality. But I think what's exciting, like every time he's on the ball, it's exciting. And it's exciting to think about a world where he does develop that final product more and becomes a player who can really turn those good looking chances that he creates into more goals. That's the next step in his game. But he's fun and exciting to watch, which God knows this team could use more of that the last couple years, and he's providing it right now. So shout out to Georgie and Georgie and Rothrock.
I think that he is such a good deploy in the 70th minute, deploy in the 65th minute, because he's so explosive, and you've already got defenders who have been run on by Rothrock and Rusnak and Ferreira. You just get this extra little bit of like technical ability where he can just kind of like oh my God, like when he dials that in, it's gonna be a nightmare. He's like the perfect super sub player.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, his skill set lends itself very well to that role. Like when he brings on the fresh legs at like 60 or 70 and you got the opposing defenders and midfielders trying to stop him, they can't really do it very well. I think Houston actually had the tactic when they swarmed him with 3 or 4 guys and then like football tackled him. That might be the only way to defend him, because what the Quakes were doing, he was kind of feasting, man.
He was feasting, and they looked like good opportunities. Like, he was able to, and I think this is, again, going, like, the Sounders finding a way to play more centrally has been so interesting to me. I don't know if you've noticed this, but, you know, they're kind of famously a team that likes to blast the ball in from the wing, and sure, that's great, but I don't know, it seems like there's been a new wrinkle where they've been able to kind of, like, have those wingers cut in more centrally and take their chances when they can, which, I mean, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, no, I think you did see that in the second half. I think that's a good shout. All right, let's break this goal down, Noah, because this was an awesome goal.
This was a Lobbing Scorchers certified goal.
And it was when the Seattle Sounders are playing to their potential and their level, these are the type of goals that they can score. Yes. This was an excellent team goal. It all starts with a corner from Rusnak, which that is, again, like I thought his set pieces, Schmetz said in his post game that he thought that Rusnak's set pieces at the very end there when they were pushing for a winner, that he wanted more from him on those.
Yeah, they weren't good.
Yeah, those weren't good. But like I thought for most of the game before that, they were pretty good. Like they had some good looks off him, even though they didn't get a goal. Mm-hmm. And then like I think this is an example of why it can pay sometimes to have a guy who's really nails on these set pieces, because that wasn't a play where someone got their head to it and scored like primary assist style like Rusnak has done a lot for this team, but it was good delivery that allowed Ferreira to get the ball and then ultimately create the opportunity that became the goal. So I thought that was worth mentioning. But then this play really, it does not happen without Ferreira. This was an example of the type of stuff I was talking about when they traded for him and why I liked the trade. Soccer IQ, man. He goes out there and gets that ball, and everyone who was watching, I think, thought that he was going to recycle that, and they were just going to end up knocking it around, probably a little bit of possession without purpose. That's what I thought he was going to do. No, he picks his head up. He sees that Christian's got some space at the top of the box, and he hits a really nice ball that kickstarts the whole sequence. So I want to make sure he gets his credit for that, because if he doesn't make that kind of heady little, it's a small thing, but it's one of those things where if he doesn't like have the soccer IQ to like recognize that and hit that right away, this goal might not happen. So good play by Ferreira to set this whole thing up. He picks out Christian, and then Christian cycles it around to Rusnak on the right side, and then Rusnak absolutely skinned Chicho Rongo on this play. That was so Chicho.
His haircut is not like, because it's like, just skin on the sides. It's literally not. That's from Albert Rusnak.
Chicho
just
was
taking it.
Totally isolated with Rusnak, which also all Albert had to do was get around him, and he was going to have space to either put in some nice service or take the shot. But it was it was a really bad defensive play by Chicho. If you watch it back, like it felt like he way over pursued it. Albert got around him pretty easily, and then he wasn't busting it back. Like when I was watching it back, I was like, I'm going to be curious to see if Bruce Arena hates that type of stuff. Cannot stand it. Like any like defensive lapse like that, or kind of, it felt a little bit like a lack of effort, or just kind of like losing focus for just that second. Mm-hmm. And then Rusnak's got a ton of space, but then what a shot, man. Like perfect placement, the pace that he put on that. It's not an easy angle to hit that shot. That was a DP finish is what that was.
Yeah.
And just a great team goal and a great finish. I loved everything about it.
I mean, talk about how we were literally sitting here the other day saying, Rusnak may not be the put the team on your back kind of guy, but like he has the qualities of a DP and every other possible way. Well, he's also got that too, because when you're in the thick of it, away at San Jose, a team where you haven't been able to get the best of them in a while.
You're pretty undermanned.
You're undermanned. You haven't scored a goal in multiple games. You haven't scored an away goal, period. Your vibes are looking down. And guess what? Guess who pulls you out of the rubble? He's like your Superman, Ari, with this just beautiful strike. That's a DP quality strike. That is a DP quality play for a DP quality player. And you know what's even better? What can the haters say about it? I literally got a response to my tweet that said, I am a part of the Rusnak brigade. We've lost.
Oh, wow.
We've lost.
That's a big development. So in the post-game live, I wasn't even dunking on the brigade. I was trying to take the high road. But regardless of what you think of his DP status, I think we can all agree that was a excellently taken goal, and really just from a psychological vibes and morale standpoint, they needed to have that. Like obviously a 1-1 against the Quakes is not the most phenomenal result of all time. It was a winnable game that they ended up settling for a draw. So all that is true, but I just think if you were going into this next game at San Diego, having gotten shut out again, having lost another game, and having it be like just that type of situation, the vibes would have been very, very bad. And I don't think it's, I don't want to, victory lap or read too much into one goal in one game in a 1-1 draw. But what I was saying after the game is it's like, I at least can look at that and be like, all right, that was a just goal based on how they were playing in the second half. It was well worked. I loved everything about that sequence. Like I said, that is something that you can take as a positive going into the next game and build on. It's something to build on.
Yeah, I agree completely. Like it's, I don't know. There's just this one game doesn't mean that much in the grand scheme of things, but it provides you that basis of like, okay, we got it done away. This is in the DNA of this season's roster.
Yeah. Lobbing Scorchers man of the match. I'll do mine first, Noah. I got Paul Rothrock. I thought Rothrock was excellent in this game. Really, like in the first half, he was he basically all the danger that Seattle had was running through him. He looked dangerous from out wide. His service was really good. He almost had the assist on that Alex Roldan header. He was bringing energy and intensity. He was winning his 1v1s. I mean, I could go on. Like, I thought this was just he was nails. He was nails in this game.
I wish they would have found him more too. I mean,
he
there
was
were times
calling
when
for it. He was getting frustrated, and I was like, "Yeah, exactly.
You should
feed
be,
him. Like, run this through him right now. That's what's working."
Yeah, I mean, I literally, I normally try and pick another one just for content, but I literally cannot pick another Lobbing Scorchers man of the match because Paul Rothrock so deserved. If he gets more service in this game, he scores, man. I'm sorry. Like that's my take.
There was the one knock was when he got out and running and he took the shot that missed to the far post barely. He almost had that goal.
Yeah.
But I thought I don't know. I'll have to watch it again. I'm not sure about this take, but my first reaction was, oh, he probably should have laid that off instead.
Sure.
But honestly, I'm not even gonna have that detract from his all-around performance because he was the best player on the field for either team, I think, pretty comfortably.
Yeah. Other than Rusnak, maybe.
Rusnak would have a case, and Georgie would have a case for after he came on.
Georgie's sample size, how effective he was in that short period of time was quite incrable.
Yeah.
Like I didn't result in anything.
If anyone wanted to give Georgie man of the match or Rusnak man of the match, I think you got a few candidates from this game.
What about Paulie Prime Time? Welcome back, kid. Welcome to Lobbing Scorchers man of the match.
All right, let's do positives and negatives. I'll lay down mine. You can lay down yours. Mm-hmm. Positives. They scored a goal.
Yeah.
That's a positive. And it was a good goal. It wasn't like a trash, lucky type goal. It was like it
was a strike.
Well-worked, high-level execution, great team goal, great finish by your DP number 10. The halftime adjustment really seemed to work. Again, like we talked about it, but that's good work by Schmetz and the coaching staff to see what wasn't working, make the tweak at halftime, not wait for it, make the tweak at halftime, and then it worked. The whole second half looked a lot better, so I thought that was a positive. Again, Rothrock and Georgie looked really good, and I want to just make sure they get their full credit, full due for that, because remember after the RSL game, we were on them a little bit. Like I thought that was not a great game for either one of them. Georgie cost the team a goal with that offside play. Yep. Rothrock, at that point he was still coming back from injury, but he didn't look in that game, I think, like the Rothrock of last year yet. And in this game, I thought both of them provided what this team needs right now with the injury situation. They're going to be counted on and leaned on a lot. And if they play like that, I feel pretty good about that. Like I thought they were both dangerous. I thought they were both looked really effective from out wide. And it was good to see that after like what happened in that Salt Lake game earlier in the season.
Yeah, completely agree.
Okay, well, I had a couple more positives.
Sorry, I'm like, I'm here to Georgie Rothrock, give me that. That's good content.
Rusnak and Ferreira stepped up. We talked before this game about how this was the type of situation where both those guys need to step up. And, I think Ferreira people are still negative on it probably because of how the first half went and he didn't get a goal. But I I give him credit. He played a lot better in the second half. He created a lot more. He looked like he was combining with everyone a lot more effectively. And then he, played an integral role on that equalizer. And I thought that play in particular was a good illustration of the type of stuff that he can bring to the table. Stuff like that is what he did for most of his FC Dallas career. Mm-hmm. And what we hoped he would bring to this team. So it was good to see him do that. And then my last positive, just the morale.
Yeah.
It feels better for me. It would have been rancid if they had gotten shut out. And it's, again, not the most amazing result of all time, but it was a good way to end the game and something that I think the squad can build on moving forward. Negatives. They were XG merchanting in this game. It felt like a situation where all the chance creation and the shots they were taking wasn't leading to goals until they got one. So they were a few minutes away from that talking point being very prevalent again. And I guess if there's something that you want to see moving forward, it's them continuing to play like that, but get the goals that it feels like they deserve for it, which in this game, I think only getting the one goal in this game, it's fair to say, based on how they played, that could have and should have been a multiple goal game. The goal that they did concede felt needless. It was a game. It was a situation where they had possession, they had it under control. The giveaway didn't need to happen. It was unlucky, but it's been a lot of preventable shoot yourself in the foot type concessions early in the season. Too many, I think I would say, and that was another one. So. That was another negative. Ferreira at the 9 in the first half didn't look much better. We already talked about that. I think that turned into a positive with how the second half looked, but I don't think I came out of this feeling like any different about how that experiment has been going, which I would have, in an ideal world, you would have seen meaningful, tangible progress with that. And then last negative, you did draw a game that was winnable. The San Jose team didn't play all that great. I don't know how great they are under Bruce, frankly. So this was a game where based on how it played out, and if you just look at the stats and everything, they could have and probably should have won this game.
Yeah, I'm literally in alignment with all of your positives and negatives here. I think this was a very one-dimensional game in terms of punditry. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of black and white. I don't know. You can argue here or there a little bit about Jesus Ferreira. I think my take is there was probably more good than there was bad. I think it's just we have to come to a point of acceptance. Is he a 9? Is he going to be a Jordan Morris replacement or a backup? Is he going to be someone who can start in front of Musovski? I don't think so. And I think that's a negative. I think that the fact that he was just not comfortable there and has not been comfortable there, it's too much of a risk going forward with dropping points to keep him there. I don't know who else you put there. I don't know if you try something else out, like a Paul Rothrock at the 9 or a Georgie at the 9 or whatever it is. But that's my negative, is what we thought coming into the season was going to be this awesome, super versatile player. Maybe it just isn't, and that's okay. He's still
or at least
a great
not
player.
In the way that
that's exactly. And then, but on his positive side, his facilitation is incredible, and he looked so good when he was comfortable. Positives is the Rusnak brigade can't say shit. The Rusnak brigade cannot say shit after this match, and that made me feel good. I was not enjoying watching the first half of this game, and I wasn't tuned out in the second half, but I was just oh my God, come on. I can't take another loss. I can't take another shitty draw. But the fact that Albert was able to that's a goal of the week quality.
I don't want to make it like a victory lap thing, but I did feel a little validated watching that because we had a whole segment again defending him the other day, and then we even had people outside the brigade being okay guys, calm down or whatever. We took a lot of that, and watching that goal, I was no, see that proved the exact point that we were making with that. So, I was happy to see it from that standpoint too.
Well, let's take the pulse of the streets, Ari. Let's see what the people are feeling and how you, the viewer, thought. We've been kind of going back and forth because we do the post-game lives with taking questions, but we thought we'd bring it back for...
I still like sourcing these in my mentions.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like tradition.
Always hop in Ari's mentions on Blue Sky, ari.lobbingscorchers.com on there. Jake asks, I asked this question a few weeks ago, and it was before we found out about Jesus' minutes restriction and before he had 180 at the 9. Now, we've seen him progress towards fitness and seen him against Houston/San Jose. I'll ask again. Is Jesus our backup 9, or is Moose still our third string striker with no backup?
It's a good question that I think we do have more data on which to assess at this point, and I'm also going to hit on that in agenda check. But what I would say to that, Noah, is that my take on it is that what they did in the second half is what they should run that again against San Diego and see if they can do so to the same effect that they did in the second half of this game, and just see how it works and then assess from there how you want to play that position. But I think I saw enough in that second half where I want to see more of that.
Yeah, no, I think that for me it's obvious that Moose is the third string striker with no backup. It goes Jordan Morris, I don't know what to do, and then Musovski. I don't mind letting Jesus play there more and get comfortable, but you're getting to the point where he's becoming a detriment to your attack, and that's also not good for the player. Like, if he's not playing well in that position and also not feeling confident and kind of just like getting upset, what is that doing for the player? That's just not great. So, I mean, I think that's where I land on it, is there's kind of no backup striker right now, which that might need to be addressed in the summer window.
I'm gonna talk about that in the agenda check.
Yeah. Phil asks, I asked this question a few weeks ago. We got a lot of people asking follow-ups here, so clearly you're not calling into the live show.
Oh, wait a minute. I pasted in the wrong question.
It's okay.
It's the exact same one.
Next. Rerun. Bill asks, not Phil, but Bill asks, as someone who didn't watch the game, tell me at any point the last 10 years we got a point in San Jose and I'd be happy.
Yeah, I think that's that was a good point, because this Quakes team, no matter what quality of team they have, it's like a bogey team. It's a bogey team, and like you can't look at it and be like, oh, the Quakes might not be good, like this is going to be an easy game. That's just never, for whatever reason. I don't know why, but like Sounders Quakes games, that's just how it is. It's just the soccer gods. I don't know.
I will continue with the point that I have made a million times and will continue to make. This is Major League Soccer. A tie on the road is usually pretty good, especially when you can score. If you can score on the road, that's a pretty good result. That's just to be honest.
I think, under normal circumstances, that is an actively good result. I think the only thing you could say is that, like, with how the season has started,
sure,
and the points that you've already dropped, I think it's fair to look at that and be like, the performance was encouraging. The result was not super great. But I mean, I tend to agree that, especially this early in the season, you're basically, these road games, you're just trying to rack as many points as you possibly can, as many results as you possibly can. And if you play well on the road in this league, you're usually going to, you're easily going to make the playoffs, and you're usually going to be a pretty high seed if your road form is good. So I think it was a good result from that standpoint.
Phil actually asked this. Even if the gods have deemed that Moose can't finish, isn't it better to have him on as the 9 with Jesus Ferreira on the wing and Christian Roldan further back instead of this Jesus Ferreira, Christian Roldan thing we keep trying?
Yeah, so that is actually a perfect segue into agenda check, because what you said, Phil, is pretty much one of my exact takeaways from this game as well. But before we do so...
Oh, you baited him.
We're going to hit an ad break. We'll be right back.
You're watching this video, you're like, Noah, why are you sitting in your office right now? Why are you not on the podcast set? Frankly, why am I watching this ad? Why am I not skipping it? Well, don't.
just wait, hear me out, okay? We are offering new membership benefits on YouTube. So if you join as a YouTube member, not only are you going to get exclusive content, you're going to be getting 20 to 30 more minutes of content per episode. You're going to be getting exclusive updates from us. You're going to be getting other member perks that are yet to be announced. Again, look, I'm just talking to you. I'm just letting you know what's to come. Buy low, sell high kind of thing, right? As a YouTube member, we're going to be giving you guys shout outs as well, especially in the post shows, and we are going to be doing exclusive members only live stream once a month where you can get all of your questions asked. You can call in, talk with us, chat, yap, do whatever. This latest episode, we went 17 minutes. We debuted an exclusive look at a project we've been working on for months. It's something you're going to want to check out. So become a YouTube member today. We have 3 tiers. You get a ton of stuff. If you become a member at specific tiers, you also get access to Sounder at Heart memberships. So this is the best new way you can support us and support Sounder Heart and all of that stuff. So become a YouTube member. Down in the description. You got this. Now back to your favorite 2 podcasters. Bye, guys.
Welcome back to Lobbing Scorchers. And Ari, hit the emote. If you skipped our ads, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Don't
That's one of the words the kids use
Don't
nowadays.
skip the ads.
Yeah. If you do, we know, and all of that.
It's funny every time we do that, we get comments that are like, "I actually do skip the ad." Oh, okay.
It's like, all right, big guy.
Okay.
All right, big guy. All right.
All right. Let's get into this agenda check. Like I said, going off Phil's last comment there. And my first agenda coming out of this game is the Moose should start agenda. Now that might sound funny in a game where Moose was taking more heat after this game than pretty much any other Moose game, which is kind of saying
pretty
a lot.
Good sitters,
he missed a lot of. I don't know if they were all sitters, but they were chances that you would expect and want him to put on target, as an MLS striker, and he didn't do that. So it's not that I'm shocked that the anti-Moose stuff was flying around after this game, but I will say, in his defense, after the change that Schmetz made at halftime, the offense ran exponentially better. Like just the way everyone was combining and how fluid it was and a lot of the chances that they were generating. And I think it's clear that that's not a coincidence. Schmetz mentioned it in his post-game press conference that he felt like Moose really gave the team a boost in the second half. I agree. And I think to Phil's point, even if he's going to be missing sitters and not scoring the goals himself, if there's that much of a difference in how well it's functioning compared to when he's not playing, then people might think it's crazy, but I think that you should start him and at least see if you can replicate how that looked, rather than trying stuff that we've seen didn't work. Yeah. And I think Moose showed that in this game.
To the moon, skyrocketed. Moose stock to the moon, buy low, It's whatever. I think that the Sounders are going to be good in spite of, it's not because of Moose I think, my brain just fell out of my head there, but I think the Sounders are good not because of Moose in that position, but because Jesus Ferreira is not in that position. He doesn't
see. I don't know.
He doesn't step on Albert's space, and Albert gets to be in a better position for him. Jesus Ferreira is able to play balls in and work in better. I don't think that it's because of Moose. I think, okay, maybe, but how he's not going to score the opportunities that he gets. So what's the point?
The point is that
it can look better, but it doesn't mean that it functions better. And I think that it does function better with him.
When it looks better, isn't that it functioning better?
I guess so. I think
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't count on him to convert his goals, it how well the offense is functioning might fundamentally matter less.
Yes.
But I think you're much more likely to get goals from other sources if the offense is functioning that much better. And I think you're underselling there the role that he played and why it looked better. I think he actually,
but it wasn't because of him. I don't think. I think
how do you explain how different it looked then? It's not what. There's no way that it was just Ferreira out wide.
I'm just saying, if you put if you rolled the corpse of I don't know who's like I don't know anyone. If you just put them out there and like put them generally like in the penalty spot, I think the offense sort of functions.
I know you've got to do the anti-Moose stuff, but
no,
I think
it's not even
you're
anti-Moose.
underselling.
It's just I don't like what was he doing?
The way that he he's a good hold-up player. He can find guys as outlets. He's better at combining with other guys. He was good in possession. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that all those things that you want a 9 to do in addition to score goals, I thought he was doing all that stuff pretty well, which I understand isn't worth as much as it would be if he was actually scoring the sitters. But I don't think I think there's a very clear delineation between how it looked before he subbed on and how it did after. I think Schmetz was right when he credited Schmoose. I think Schmetz was right when he credited Moose for providing that type of lift. And I would much rather see the team looking and playing like that than I would running back what we saw in the first half. So I wouldn't expect you to agree.
It's not to hate on Moose. Like I said, I agree with you. I do think he should start, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'm excited about it or the reason that the offense. He's not the turnkey. He's just there.
I thought he kind of was, man.
Anyone else
I thought
there,
he was.
If you put Paul Rothrock there or you put Georgie Monungu there, I think they do the same thing. And probably convert.
I disagree.
All right.
I think there is obviously scoring goals is the most important thing for number 9, but there is
which
a
he's
lot
allergic to.
There is a lot more to the being effective at that position than purely just that.
Sure, I agree with that.
And I think the fact that he was doing those things well it's at least there's no way you can say that it had nothing to do with how much the team, even if you can say it didn't matter as much as I'm saying, and that's
right.
That I think, to each their own, but there's no way that you anybody that you put in there is doing the exact same thing and you get the exact same outcome. I think that's underselling the role that he played in how the team looked better.
Here's what I'll say. He was better than Jesus.
Yeah.
But I think it also allowed Jesus to go into a position that made him better. And like you were saying, that Rusnak goal doesn't happen without Jesus. If Jesus is in his position, I mean, Moose is nowhere to be found on that goal. That goal doesn't that goal happens in spite of Moose even being on the field. It's just the fact that he is there. He's a warm body in that position. That's all I'm saying.
What do you want him to do differently on the goal sequence?
Nothing.
There was guys he was part of the group in the box.
Exactly. That is what he's good at, is being a warm body. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he is not effective at being a warm body. He does all of the things that Jesus Ferreira is not doing. He's just not finishing. So he's not he's serviceable as a 9. He should start over Jesus Ferreira with no other option.
I understand the frustration with the sitters he missed, and I'm not begrudging anybody that. But I'm going to give him credit for what I think is a pretty clear role that he played in elevating the attack in the second half. If you got takes on the Moose agenda, that was a good discussion.
Yeah.
If you got takes on the Moose agenda, drop them in the comments. Interested to hear if I'm all alone on an island with that, because
I'm a hater. I'll admit it.
And a lot of people are, a lot of people are. So
I'm not probably not.
But I think if you're looking at it objectively, I think it's pretty obvious to me that in spite of the 4 sitters that he missed, he did things well that helped lead to the goal that they did get. At least the offense
shooting,
looking better. Maybe not on that exact
I guess.
play,
at least he's getting shots.
All right, my next agenda. It's the new who has actually low key kind of improved in attack agenda. we talked about the good looking shots that he had, but even there's been a couple other times this year where he sends in a cross, and I'm like, that wasn't bad. That was an okay cross. There's been a couple times where I was like, oh, that was even like a little bit of a good cross. So I'm not, we have such a large sample size of Nuhu contributing pretty much nothing in attack that I'm not gonna get fired up on this one yet. But I think like he might have actually added a little bit of facet to his game. Like it's possible. We're gonna see. He's got to get on the stat sheet a couple times this year for me to feel passionately about this agenda. But I liked the shots he took, and it feels like his service, while still not great, has been better than it used to be, which is a low bar. But anyway,
no, I mean it's not. It's you asked him. I think everyone asked him to improve on that. Like that's been the one thing where he's been lacking. So the fact that he's been able to improve and improve in a noticeable way, like. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. What's the I don't think you need to diminish it at all. I think that's real and up to Nuhu. Put him at the 9. He'd probably score more than Moose.
All right. No,
probably
you
not.
had a couple of agendas.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Agenda number 1. Jesus Ferreira is not a 9 agenda. Should I lay it out? I feel like it's self-explanatory.
I mean, I feel like we've talked about that a lot on this episode, but I think from what I am seeing so far, it seems like him playing the position like Jordan does, and the team trying to make that kind of just a like for like and play how they did with him there, the same way that they did with Jordan there. That seems like, I mean, it's clear that that's silly. Not working. I mean, I don't mind, I guess, the fact that they tried it, given the injuries to Jordan and De La Vega and all that. And the fact that like he has played there with FC Dallas and there is a track record of being effective in his career at that position. But I just think as it stands with this team right now, especially with how much better it looked after he switched off that position in this game, I think that they should, again, like I'm advocating for them to run the same lineup that they ran in the second half, which is him not at the 9. So
for me, if you look at how FC Dallas used him in his last few years, especially after the injury, it wasn't like that. He hasn't played like that in a while. He hasn't played. He's
more of like a false 9 second striker, even a number 10.
Yeah, he's way more of a 10. And I think that, he's going to step on Rusnak's toes if he's on the 10. Well, I mean, he's literally going to take Rusnak's position. And I'm sorry, I'm not taking Albert Rusnak off the field for Jesus Ferreira right now. And so then he's like, okay, well, where do you put him? You put him on the wing. I thought he looked fine there, but, how many wingers do we have? We have too many wingers, Ari. Everyone's a winger on this team. And then it's just like, well, how do you use Jesus Ferreira?
He is, like the more I watch him play, he's a unique player. And I think
he needs so much space and freedom.
His skill set, I think, has turned out to be trickier to accommodate than certainly that I expected or was hoping. I thought that his soccer IQ and his ability as a facilitator and experience in MLS were reasons why the transition might be, if not seamless, at least like pretty smooth. And that just hasn't been the case. So I don't know. I still think just in general with this discussion, we are only like 3 games into seeing how they're trying to use him with Jordan out. And honestly, like I think when Jordan is back healthy and playing, to me, it seems like the best way for him to be deployed is more of as a second striker playing off Jordan as a pure 9. And then that way, like, yeah, he can do stuff like drop a little deeper and play as a facilitator, but then also, try and play higher and be goal dangerous and kind of be a hybrid type player. That's sort of, if it works out how I think they're hoping it will ultimately work out, that will be what his role is, more than playing as a striker like Jordan does or like Raul did.
Yeah, and I think it just sucks because like they were trying to fill that 9 role with a backup, with someone who's actually serviceable, goal dangerous, and it didn't work. And so now you're stuck in this place where you overwork your starting 9 and Jordan, and he gets an injury because of that. And then you're like, well, what do we do? You know, the whole team is in shambles because, I mean, yes, three starters, losing 3 starters to anyone, any roster, any time is going to be devastating in Major League Soccer. I don't care how deep your roster is. That's just the reality of Major League Soccer, right? Now I just don't know, man. Like it just sucks that he's not a 9, and it's something they need to figure out who's going to be the backup there.
I mean, if we're talking purely about the roster and the depth chart, it is Moose. Like,
right, but I'm saying you have to. I mean, you would even agree that you've got to find a piece to upgrade there.
Honestly, if anyone's saying that they want to see them use the U22 spot on a striker, this is why I think what they did with waiting to fill that is actually prudent because of a scenario like this popping up where the need might be different than what you thought it would be. Going into the season, I think I definitely was looking at it like, okay, if Jordan gets injured or has to rotate out, you just move Ferreira there, and then you're probably good to go. He's a 50-plus goal scorer in the league. Mm-hmm. He's played there before and produced for FC Dallas. You know, this shouldn't even be an issue. Now, with how it's actually played out in the games, we know that it is an issue, and they can inform their approach to whatever additions that they make on that. And, we haven't even seen what this Ryan Kent character could contribute to all this.
Another winger.
Right.
I think we need more or I think we should sign more wingers, to be honest.
Yeah, put Jesus out there, sign Ryan Kent.
Yeah.
De La Vega coming back. Move Jordan back out there. Just don't play with no 9. No 9.
No 9 agenda. There we go. Jesus Ferreira is not a 9 agenda, but also no one at the 9 agenda. Here's my last agenda. Obed Vargas is the best player in the entire world agenda.
I like this agenda. That's good.
I love him. And I think that this roster plays ridiculously well with him and like mediocre without him.
I thought his return was, we didn't even talk about that at all, but that was a nice boost.
Like crazy nice. I think he is one of the most underrated players on this roster. I don't think he's underrated, but I think
not by Seattle fans, but
sure, but I think that it's like one of those where it's so noticeable when he's not on the field. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how they're going to replace him. Do you think they try and keep him?
I
think someone asked you this. But.
I just don't think that that's what he wants. I think he wants to test himself, and I think that's fine. Like that's kind of what he should want, is to just see how far he can push himself and push his career. So I think even if they wanted to keep him and make him the U22 and throw a huge bag at him, if you're doing right by your players and they have dreams and aspirations to try and push themselves in Europe or any different league, you should let them do that.
No, I agree.
And they're gonna get a huge bag for him, so that's another reason to do it. Even though he is one of the most important players on the team,
I just think we have that Club World Cup bag now.
True.
Maybe you think, hey, Obed, listen, I know you want to go test yourself, but listen, there are people who have tested themselves before. One by the name of Jordan Morris. He exploded his knee immediately and never played another minute in Europe. And guess what? He's happy. He's a DP here. He is beloved in the city. You're already beloved in the city. What if we just give you some fat stacks? You can take care of your family. You can take care of your life. You'll be good forever, bro.
It's an interesting notion. Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see him play somewhere else, but selfishly, I'm going to very much miss.
Selfishly, I'm kind of curious what he could do in like the Bundesliga or La Liga or the Prem.
Yeah.
You know, like that,
I just don't care about those leagues personally.
I don't. Well, but I care about Obed.
Sure.
It's not about the
We're
league,
invested in Obed stock, guys. This is actually why Ari has money on it.
No, that's a good agenda. All right, looks like we got one news item here, and then we can hit winners and losers from Matchday 6.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. Breaking news, Ari. Can you believe it? Club Leon kicked out of the Club World Cup because they're owned by some other. They own multiple clubs. It's not allowed. And there was a lawsuit brought by Aluense, which I don't even know where they are from, but they're a club. I just tried to Google it and I couldn't even spell it. So
I saw that.
You
that
just
was
watched
tough.
me do that. That was
tough.
really embarrassing. But anyway, FIFA has drawn up plans to hold a 1-game playoff between Club America and LAFC to determine the replacement for Club Leon in the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. This report comes courtesy of ESPN, Jeff Carlisle, and Lizzie Buccinaro.
Shout out Jeff and Lizzie.
Wow. So kick to the curb, and now you get a charity spot match between Club America and LAFC. LAFC, who famously didn't win anything last year other than the Open Cup. So does that mean the Open Cup is the most important trophy in North American soccer, Ari?
I don't know about that, but I will say I actually kind of like this idea. Let them fight for it. It's like, I challenge you to a duel. The winner goes to the Club World Cup. I would actually find some entertainment in watching them scrap for the charity spot. Like if there's like a entertaining way to fill this spot, I think having two teams duel for it is pretty funny from our perspective, and I would watch that.
Yeah, I think
it's kind of the whole thing's kind of stupid, but like, yeah.
I think it's just funny the teams that they picked, right? Like LA Galaxy fans have to feel hard done, right? Like you win the trophy, and then now it's like, oh, we're gonna pick the other guys.
State of the Galaxy right now, you probably don't want to showcase them in this event, but you could say the same thing arguably for LAFC. Like they just lost to San Diego 3-2.
Yeah,
and have really not looked like the big bad mighty LAFC of old all season. Like they've had a couple good games, but Seattle scored 5 goals on them. They've taken a couple of other tough results. Even the games they've won, a couple of them have been 1-0s that they didn't play particularly well. So I don't know how much hotter showcasing LAFC in this tournament would be than the Galaxy, who arguably deserve it more on merit based on what they won last year.
Yeah, I think it's just super funny because you have two clubs who LAFC didn't comment on this story, which is very classic, but the Club America coach did say he thinks that Leon should have kept the spot and that they should just be readmitted, and the reality is that if they are going to be in this tournament, they should earn it. Like, he doesn't want the charity spot because they have more pride in their club. LAFC, I don't think they have pride in their club like that. I think they want that. They're that Los Angeles, like, just gimme, we deserve it because we're cool and we've got cool kits and a cool logo. How much do you think Will Ferrell is paying FIFA right now? That's what I really want to know.
We were looking at the prize money, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I can understand why I would have no EO, honestly, about the charity spot thing if I got the opportunity, just because if you do go to it and perform well, you get a huge bag, and that can actually like meaningfully help your team and your roster if you play it right. So like, yeah, it's a charity spot, but I would not expect LAFC or frankly anyone else to pass it up just because of the money involved. Like that's
no, absolutely. I'm looking up here because I want to see the groups of where Leon is right now versus where
LAFC would be theoretically.
Yeah, okay, it looks like Group D. Yeah, okay, so you'd be playing Chelsea, some Turkish team, and Flamengo. So give us that spot. I want to be in that group. What the hell? That's ridiculous.
You got Chelsea, which is a Prem team, and
but
Flamengo, which is
fine.
like one of the biggest
Flamengo is
clubs in Brazil.
Yeah, but
so I think Seattle's group is harder, but that's not like a cakewalk group.
Yeah, but that's like, you understand, you get $1 million for a draw. You get $2 million for a win.
And all 3 of Seattle's opponents are really, really hard. And this Turkish team, probably an MLS club might be able to get a result there. I don't know anything about that team, but
I mean, not to say that the Turkish league is better or worse, but I mean, I'm sorry, like
Botafogo is probably better than
Botafogo is definitely
without
better.
Knowing anything about it. I would say if I had to guess, Botafogo is probably better than
So
that.
you get a charity spot. And you have, I would say, not a terrible chance of getting a result.
Yeah.
Who do you want to be in that spot? Do you want Club America or LAFC?
Duel for it and let the best man go to the thing. Duel for it.
Duel for it.
Yeah.
What if neither of them get to play? Who would you want if you could pick any team in the entire world, any club in the entire world? Who are you putting in there?
Sporting Kansas City.
God, that'd be such a good bit, dude. That'd be such a good bit. Yeah, I think
New Mexico United, actually.
New Mexico United. Yo, yeah.
Because if New Mexico United got a $9.5 million bag, I wouldn't really.
They're winning the USL forever.
I wouldn't really care how they perform at it.
They might be able to beat Chelsea.
Chelsea's not doing so hot these days.
You never know.
So
yeah. So Club World Cup is in shambles. We'll keep an eye on this. Gotta love it. It starts on June 14th. It's April basically, and LAFC.
We'll see. We're on charity spot watch.
Yeah.
We're on charity spot watch.
You will get clowned if you lose this one-off game, though. We are bringing champagne.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like this. Does this count as a final?
It is a good opportunity to clown on LAFC. Because I don't think they're going to beat Club America in a one-off. I mean,
not right now.
I don't think so. Like, they may, you never know what can happen in one game. But it's what I think the most likely outcome is that they play this one-off against Club America and get kind of boat raced, and then that would be funny for us.
Yeah,
so
it's great content for the gang.
It's kind of a W for Lobbing Scorchers, no matter what.
Exactly. Well, that's all the news that I had.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm excited for. Charity spot watch. Winners and losers for Matchday 6 in MLS. No, there's some notable results from the other clubs in the league. Winners, San Diego FC. Mentioned it already, but they beat LAFC 3-2, and they scored all three of their goals in the first 30 minutes of the game. LAFC, this is kind of like looking at the charity spot, and it's like, man, this team just gave up 3 goals in 32 minutes to San Diego FC, an expansion side, which San Diego looked good. Seattle's going to play them next week, so we're going to get a good look at them. But it was kind of a shocker from LAFC. And to be fair, they went down a man and then were actually the better team in the second half, even down a man, and really could have tied the game. One of the goals they gave up was an absolute howler from Hugo Lloris, that was really funny.
Has he lost it, Ari?
I mean, I don't know. That was bad, though. That was bad. I mean, that was just a ball in the box that he could have caught easily, and he fumbled, and the San Diego guy got what turned out to be the game-winning goal. So that wasn't great, and they just don't look good right now.
Yeah,
they don't look good right now, which is. Again, a W for us. The Colorado Rapids got a bounce back after getting destroyed by the Timbies. They beat Charlotte FC, who looked pretty good this year.
We've been rating
2-0.
them.
We've been rating Charlotte FC, and the Rapids got a big bounce back result, so they're my second winner. And then I thought the best game of the slate this weekend was Atlanta United versus NYCFC. NYCFC went up 3-1. Atlanta United came back and won it 4-3, which they really needed that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty skeptical of their team still. Every year, I'm like, all right, Atlanta United's going to be back. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this game indicates that they're back. They haven't looked back so far this year, but they did get. That was a fun game to watch. Combined 7 goals, big comeback. And they got a very much needed dub.
And Lotte Loth with an assist and a goal. I mean, he looks been good. Looking pretty.
He looks good.
Pretty hot.
They, he's no Albert Rusnak, but he's a pretty good. He's a pretty good DP.
Also, Miranchuk's been good too. They're 10. Funny enough, I love.
He scored a goal. He has not been good. Up to these last couple weeks.
Yeah.
But he got a goal in this game and he's looking better.
I love that his number is 59. It's just so random for a number 10 to be number 59. That's so sick.
It's not as sick as the Liga MX teams that do the triple digits for their academy kids with it. Now checking in number 325. And
you're like, damn, bro, I didn't know we could do that.
I
Bring that to MLS.
Losers, got a good one here to start it off, Noah.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Sporting Kansas City, the club of professional wrestling enthusiasts, have still not... what are they at? 14 games dating back to last year
without
they have
a
win.
One draw in all of the rest are losses. 13 losses, 1 draw.
They... oh, my God. That's one of the worst runs I've ever seen from an MLS club.
It's incredible.
Full stop.
It's incredible.
That is really bad. But this is the development, Noah. With this is our... This is going to be our blazing hot press conference of the week.
Brought to you by Hacks and Ferments.
Brought to you by Hacks and Ferments. And it's not exactly a press conference this week, but it's going to qualify because...
I can read this. I've got it pulled up.
Okay, you got it pulled up. So this is after another loss for the Club of Professional Wrestling Enthusiasts, the Cauldron, which is their biggest supporters group, put out a scathing statement regarding Peter Vermees and just the future of the club. This was red hot, hotter than a bottle of Hacks and Ferments hot sauce. Noah, read this statement from the Cauldron after the latest Sporting Kansas City loss.
To Peter Vermees and Sporting Kansas City ownership. As the official supporters group of Sporting Kansas City, the KC Cauldron and South Stand supporters write you today with urgency and frustration. We are at a breaking point. One of the demands decisive action to protect the legacy, culture, and future of our beloved club. For over 2 decades, Peter Vermees has been a defining figure in Kansas City soccer, from his time as a player with the Wizards to his transformation of Sporting Kansas City to an MLS powerhouse, LOL. The championship victories, the commitment to strong defensive identity, and the winning culture he once cultivated will always be respected. However, history and loyalty cannot be shields against accountability. The trajectory of this club on the field has become unacceptable, and we can no longer stand while mediocrity overshadows our once proud legacy. That was a bar, by the way. Year after year, we have watched this team stagnate. Its ambitions dwindled, ambition watch, and its results declined. Fans have been expected to tolerate repeated disappointment with no meaningful change to its approach. The lack of urgency, lack of adaptation, and lack of accountability have been glaring. Glaring, Ari. This is not about... It
keeps going, man.
We're only halfway through. This is not about a single bad season. It is about a pattern of failure that has been allowed to persist without consequence. We as supporters are the backbone of this club. We show up, we sing, we travel, we pour our time, money, and our hearts into this team because we believe in what it should stand for. But belief alone does not win matches, and unwavering support does not excuse repeated underperformance. The Sporting Kansas City standard has been abandoned. And while we do not sit idly by while this club fades into irrelevance.
We got 4 more graphs here. I mean, do we keep...
We got to finish it off.
Okay, yeah.
I got to finish it off. I already started it.
All right.
We cannot accept this level of mediocrity. The hard truth is for Sporting Kansas City to proclaim its rightful place as a dominant force in MLS, LOL, and change in leadership is necessary. Peter Vermees must resign as manager. This is not a request. It is a demand from the fan base that refuses to watch its club wither under the outdated tactics and unchallenged authority. His tenure has run its course, and a fresh vision is required to lead Sporting Kansas City into the future.
If you think it's going to stop, it doesn't.
No. To the ownership group, the responsibility to act falls on you. You must decide whether Sporting Kansas City remains content with being a relic of past success or whether it fights to become a dominant force once again. The time for loyalty-based decisions has passed. We demand accountability. We demand ambition. We demand change. Peter, we acknowledge your contributions to the club and Sporting Kansas City community, but, whatever. Sporting Kansas City is bigger than any one person. The club's future must take precedent over past achievements. A fresh vision is required to carry this team forward. It is time to make the decision that serves the club's best interests rather than personal ones. We stand behind Sporting Kansas City, not just in words, but in actions, and we will continue to support this team, but we will not remain silent when legacy we love is at risk. Sincerely, the KC Cauldron and South Stand supporters. Also, folks, I'm sorry, you said the same thing about 12 times. Invest in an editor. That's all I got to say. It was wordy.
It was too long.
It was too long,
but woo.
There was no hashtag Peter out too, which is like...
That was about as hot as it gets. If you wanted a illustration of how things are going for our friends at the Club of Professional Wrestling Enthusiasts, they're not happy, as you just heard. And I got to say, Noah, we joke about the Club of Professional Wrestling Enthusiasts a lot, and it's all in good fun. But I'm not going to lie, like the extent of their downfall has both been like even greater than I could have ever imagined. And just also, I would be lying to say I don't take satisfaction in it, because I know this is petty, and people have asked me and told me that like I should let it go. But that's why you don't suplex people on the soccer field, man. At the time that happened, Sporting KC was still considered like a upper tier Western Conference team. They had Johnny Russell at the peak of his powers. Shalloway was like a borderline MVP candidate that year, I think. They were there was no question, I think, as to their kind of status as one of the better teams and organizations in the league. Literally since that play, Tim Foss did a bit about this for years. Literally since that play that The Rock tweeted about it, they have become one of the worst teams in the league. And the reason I still reference that play is because the way that their fans and the players on their team reacted to that whole situation was ridiculous. People called me like Crash Out Chris at the time for calling out how ridiculous the behavior from the fan base and for the players was when they like scored a goal in their next game and they were doing like fake miming suplexes on that's why you don't do that shit, man. Because the soccer gods, they don't take too kindly to that. It's called karma. It's what you get. It's what you get is this. So zero sympathy for the Club of Professional Wrestling Enthusiasts. Get slammed like Tim Melia slammed Christian Roldan. Win a game. It's been like what?
13
matches. 0-13-1. And we're gonna laugh at them because this is what you get.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's like literally the real life example of that meme where it's like me watching someone who I prayed on their downfall have that downfall.
Yeah.
This is it.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. They gutted their roster, did a whole rebuild, sold their best player. He did nothing, all this kind of stuff. And to top it all off, Ari, you know who might get this man fired? Leo Chu. Leo Chu scored a game winner for FC Dallas. Leo Chu is a villain to Sporting Kansas City. Famously has
4 assists game. I forgot about that.
4 assists and 1 goal against Sporting Kansas City. Might have more. I have not dove into this, but the rejected, the unloved Leo Chu goes to Dallas. He's been playing well in his 2 matches.
More goals this year than Jesus Ferreira.
Yeah, but goes there and may get Peter Vermees fired. So just know, Sporting fans, that even when the Sounders are not beating you or when they're not in your head, we're there. We're there in heart and in love, and we're going to find a way to needle you, beat you, and ruin your life and your coach and his legacy.
You shouldn't have gleefully celebrated your suplex to that degree.
It's
because I will never let it go.
No.
People say like, you got to let it go. I'm not going to let it go. I will never let that go. I will call them the Club of Professional Wrestling Enthusiasts until the day I die.
Yeah.
Like, that is what they are called to me forever. Like we're going to be recording this show in 2058 and I will still be calling him that. I promise you.
It's deserved. I got to cook on this just a little bit more. Ari. I'm sorry. I have to. Like this is too good.
Had you read the full statement yet, or was that?
That was my first time. So this was like
I read the whole thing.
good.
I was like, oh my god, this is incredible.
I think it's so funny because some of our first shows, Peter Vermees was on the hot seat. Like this was like years ago, and we were like, "There's no way they bring him back. There's no way." This dude must have dirt on somebody in the ownership. Because they came out and they were like at the beginning of the season, they're like, "We have full trust in Peter. We don't want to hear it. He's going to run it back. We're not doing it. He's going to have this whole season to cook."
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, it even dates back further than when we were talking about it at the beginning of our show. Like this has been, he's the longest tenured manager in the league by a not insignificant margin. Like Schmetz has been the coach since 2016 and he's one of the longest tenured managers in the league. Peter Vermees has been their manager since 2009.
That's crazy.
2009. And I don't even think it's like he has dirt situation. Like I think for whatever reason, he and this owner are like really tight, and the guy just has ultimate trust in him for whatever reason. But I guess so. This is where it becomes the question: like, do you think they're going to fire him?
No,
I kind of think they won't.
I don't think they will, because I think what's going to happen, this comes out, bulletin board material, players like him. Players do like him. Like I know that they may not be winning. He may not be able to get the best out of his players. I think a player like Shalloy needs to move on because he's just kind of stagnated. He scored in the FC Dallas match, but I don't know. There's no way he gets fired, right? Like it would be too perfect for him to not be fired.
I just I don't think they will either, because I think what's going to happen is, like, as statistically improbable as this winless run that they're on is, it rarely happens that your form is one way, like good or bad, for an entire season. So I think they'll probably string just enough results together and have at least one or two good enough runs of form where the owner is able to justify in his own mind to not. That just seems to be what the cycle has been for the last few years for them. And honestly, my opinion on it is that they should sign him to an extension.
Yeah, extend him.
It's a rebuild. He needs time.
He does.
He needs time to make his imprint on the new roster.
I agree.
And implement his identity and tactics. So really, I think if they're being prudent about it, they will give him a 5 to 8 year extension and let him cook.
I mean, if he can make the playoffs, which again, you have to be terrible in Major League Soccer to not make the playoffs, which this team is. If he can make the playoffs, dude, there's no way they get rid of him.
If they
right?
make the playoffs, yeah, but like I don't think they're going to do that.
That's true. They are spooning right now. They have 1 point and a -6 goal differential.
5-1.
Yeah.
After the season they had last year, 0.17 points per game. That's so bad.
That's awful. That's awful. What was his total last year? It was 0.9 last year. The year before that was 1.3. Year before that 1.2. So he's not even a 1.5 points per game coach.
Hasn't been for a while.
Hasn't been since 2021 or 2020. He was a 1.9, but again, 2020 doesn't count. Not a real season. He's bad. He's awful. Sign him to an extension.
Yeah, sign him to an extension. Before we get to the next one, I did want to read a quote that I put in from his post-game press conference that I thought was a good quote. He was getting grilled after the game about why the team hasn't won in 14 games, and one of the things he said was, "I think it comes down to goals. The goals we gave up, there's so much more we could have done in those situations." So that was some good hard-hitting analysis on what ails the squad.
Dude, I love him.
Extend him.
I extend him. I love him.
There's not a club in the league that I'm happier to see it happen to.
Oh my God.
You can call it petty. It is petty. I don't care. Like, that's how I feel. All right.
That was incredible. Thank you for indulging us.
That statement was. Yeah,
that was
like
fire.
2K
dude.
words of absolute fire.
Also,
like you said, repeated the same point like 7 times.
Yeah.
But there were some actual bars in there. Overshadows our once proud legacy.
Yeah.
Persist without consequence. Fades into irrelevance. I mean, this is like Hemingway.
Yeah.
On the quill.
They were cooking. How much ChatGPT do you think they used on that?
It looked like I don't know. Yeah, actually, probably a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Now that I think about it. And then my last loser of the week was just Nashville SC for losing at home to Cincy. I didn't really have much analysis on that. I figured the Sporting KC statement would carry this
major
segment. All right. I mean, that was all I had.
That's all we got.
Unless you got anything else you want to hit, I think we can call it a wrap for episode 90. Thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in. Did you have anything to show?
Yeah, I was going to say we've got members-only content for this episode.
Become a member.
Think it's like a post-show. We're going to be doing some tasting of something. We're not going to leak it on this podcast. You have to become a member. Go watch.
Or if you follow us on Instagram, you'll get a sneak peek.
There you go. And we're also going to talk about, could Pogba be coming to the Durs? I don't know.
That's good, yeah.
Anyway, that's a member-only content. Become a YouTube member. Bunch of different levels, and help support the show. So, yeah, I don't know. Cool. Leave a like.
Like,
leave
comment,
a comment.
subscribe, sub to the
Rate
channel.
5 stars.
Rate 5 stars.
Please share this with Peter Vermees.
Share this
I need him to listen
Share
to
this with the entire Sporting Kansas City fan base. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, whatever.
Yeah, all of them.
Just everything. Just Google Lobbing Scorchers and follow on every platform, and then write reviews.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna be back at it on tomorrow morning. Lobbing Scorchers kickoff 8 a.m. with my guy Nico Moreno. We're gonna be talking a lot more Sounders in MLS. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Until next time, we out.
Peace.